Hey there, Nanaimo Christian School. I continue to pray that all of you are doing well, and we look forward to being back together here very soon. Last week, you received a school restart plan from us, and it's also posted on our school website. And today, I'm excited to provide you with some additional updates. Our first priority as we prepare for the start of school on September 8th is the health and safety of all of our staff and students. Our provincial health officer has deemed that it is safe to do so and has provided guidance on how we can make schools as safe as possible. And to be honest, I can't think of any other public place that has as many controlled measures as schools do. We know who is coming and going every single day. We require daily health checks. Hand sanitization is required throughout the day. We have enhanced sickness policies and procedures. We have more cleaning protocols, including the addition of a daytime janitor, masks for staff and middle school and high school students in all common areas, or when they can't physically distance. We have improved filters on our ventilation systems. We have staggered start times, recess times, lunch times, and pickup times. You can read about all of these and more on our restart plan, but that is a lot of measures taken to keep students and staff at Nanaimo Christian School safe. A new announcement was made yesterday at 2 p.m. by the Ministry of Education, which removes a lot of the unknowns and brings some clarity to our planning. Specifically, schools now have the funding flexibility to provide educational programs that meets the needs of their school communities. It has been clear up to yesterday that remote or distance learning options were not a possibility under Stage 2. And this has been changed to a temporary measure that allows all schools to be able to offer remote learning to meet the needs of students and parents. So, what does that mean for us here at NCS? Well, it started with thought and prayer and wisdom and skip the dishes. But this means that we get to continue to live out our mission and vision in a more tangible way. The previous Stage 2 allowed for remote learning options for high-risk students. But what about those students living with someone who is high risk, or someone who has other health concerns? And what about those who are just anxious about returning to school, or other reasons that make a return to school feel overwhelming? We talk about belonging, that all students need to feel safe, loved, and cared for, and know who God has called them to be. And we are a school that meets the needs of students and families and that values partnerships with you. And this announcement supports us in being able to do this well. We get to explore remote learning options for our students and families and respond to their individual needs. This may feel overwhelming right now, but trust me, this is a new piece that we are responding to with eagerness and excitement. As I share this information with you, I also want to be honest. I believe that our school is a safe place and that on-campus learning for most of our students is important. Face-to-face with peers and teachers in classrooms is still the best option for most students. However, I also understand, respect, and fully support the decision of families who are not able to make that decision and want a remote learning option. Today, Thursday, August 27th, you will receive an email from the school along with a link to a survey. We are asking that you complete this survey, one for each of your students, by Sunday at 3 p.m. In this survey, you will have the ability to choose on-campus learning, which is in school 100% of the time, or remote or hybrid learning option, depending on what grade your student is in. We need this information from you in order to finalize our class lists, our learning groups, our teaching assignments, and complete scheduling. Families that do not complete the survey by the 3 p.m. deadline on Sunday will default to the on-campus learning option. Again, all of this information is in the letter that you will receive today, but let me share a brief overview of your choices with you. First, just to bring clarity for you, on-campus learning is 100% of time at school. Remote learning is at home, but still receiving the full curriculum. And that's important to note. The April to June school restart, where we were doing remote learning, was not the full curriculum. This is not self-paced or self-directed learning, but working at the same pace as students who are on campus. A hybrid option is available for high school students, which is a combination of on-campus and remote learning. It is our opinion, though, that students with diverse needs would be better served by being on campus. However, we fully respect the decision that families need to make. Students with high-risk health concerns or living with someone who is high risk will be prioritized for remote hybrid learning if they choose that option. So, in each division, it looks a little bit different, and I'd like to just share that info with you as well. Kindergarten is a unique time where many of these students are coming to a school for their very first learning opportunity. And kindergarten prioritizes socialization, which really happens best on campus. So we've decided not to offer a remote learning option in kindergarten. Instead, we are offering either a full-time or a part-time option in kindergarten. Those who are on campus part-time would receive some home-based activities to complete when they are not at school, and this will help facilitate the full curriculum being facilitated. In grade 1 to 5, the remote learning plan would give students the opportunity to do all of their learning from home with the guidance of a homeroom teacher. Families will receive a weekly learning plan, complete with student resources and teaching videos, and maybe we can convince Mr. Smith to do something special. Students would submit their work to their homeroom teachers for assessment and feedback, and students would get one-on-one Zoom calls with their homeroom teachers, daily class meetings, and opportunities to log into a support teacher throughout the day. When and if possible, students who may have opportunities for in-person learning, such as music classes, maybe science experiments, or outdoor education opportunities. At the end of January, there will be an option for students to return to on-campus learning or to select remote learning, but this will be highly dependent on what spaces are available. In middle school, students are going to sign up for the entire year for on-campus or remote learning. We understand there may be some extenuating circumstances, and on a case-by-case basis, re-entry may be permitted. But again, it'll be dependent on if space allows. Remote students should expect a combination of synchronous, meaning occurring at the same time, and live stream classes, and the opportunity to work on their own schedule, fully supported by a teacher at school. These classes will follow the same curriculum as our on-campus classes. On-campus middle school homeroom classes will be spending the majority of their day together as a class. What we have known as rotation classes will be delivered in homeroom groups and mostly taught by their homeroom or learning group teachers. French and music will continue to be taught by a specialized teacher. For middle school, Wednesday afternoon, on-campus attendance will become optional for all students. Remote students can come on campus to participate in exploratories. On-campus students could choose to go home and pursue self-directed learning in an area of their passion or interest. For high school, grade 9 through 12 students will have the opportunity to either be on campus full-time or on campus part-time in a hybrid model. Students will sign up for the year of in-person or hybrid education. In extenuating circumstances, again, on a case-by-case basis, re-entry may be permitted if class space allows. We also know that for high school students, that many of their elective classes, it's just not possible or best for learning to do remotely. And we've prioritized those classes in a hybrid model for on-campus learning. Hybrid students can expect a combination of synchronous and live stream classes supported by a teacher at school and their on-campus elective classes. This hybrid option potentially allows for a decreased number of students on campus and the ability to support physical distancing requirements, which has been expressed by numerous families as a concern. Academic classes would be delivered remotely, and electives would take place on campus 3 days per week, as well as occasional labs that could be scheduled. Some school districts have moved to a quarterly system for their high schools, but we have not made that change. We are able to keep classes and learning groups well under the cohort size requirement, And this also allows some of our specialist teachers to continue to teach in those special areas. Again, I ask that you would read that letter that's coming out today. Make sure that you pray about it, talk about it within your family, and choose the option that is right for you. And if those surveys can be completed by Sunday at 3 p.m., that would greatly help our planning process. It is a tremendous privilege to be in community with each of you, and we are already praying for you as you make your decision. I am praying that you will receive clarity as you decide what is best for your children, what is best for their learning, what is best for their safety, and what is best for their emotional health. More information will come from us next week with additional school restart information, including class lists and learning groups. So be safe and be well in Nanaimo Christian School, and we will see you on campus or remotely on September 8th.